Live from downtown Macon, this is WGXA News live on YouTube.
Good evening, Middle Georgia. I'm Amanda Peralta.
And I'm Greg Lloyd. Amanda and I thank you for joining us for WGXA News at 5:30. Breaking right now, the FAA is investigating a deadly plane crash in Middle Georgia. They say the single-engine plane went down around 10 this morning just north of Butler Municipal Airport. Authorities say the plane took off from Sarasota, Florida this morning, but lost contact with air traffic control. The Talbot County Emergency Management Director says only one person has been found from the wreckage.
The cab, the passenger compartment's completely burned up, and at this time we only know of one person. They've walked the area and so far have not found another person yet.
The wreckage from the crash will remain on the scene until federal authorities have finished their investigation. It's unknown if weather or mechanical problems played a factor in the crash. And this crash comes just 9 days after a fatal crash in a Sandersville swamp. A twin-engine plane went down shortly after taking off from the Washington County Airport on August 1st. Both men on board survived initially, but one died days later from his injuries.
Another hot day with some summer storms. This morning was so dark.
It really was, wasn't it, Amanda?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Made you just want to stay in bed, sort of, and not get up and go. And
yeah.
Chief Meteorologist Ryan Stennett, what's the good word? Is there relief and sunny days ahead?
Well, we got sunny afternoon. How about that for many of us after the wet and stormy start to our Thursday? This evening, quiet and calm. We're in the low 90s as we look in Macon on our Wilson Bryant Heating Air Skycast Network. We're looking off towards the north. You got blue sky, you got sunshine, and you got a little bit of cloud cover. But again, it is quiet across Middle Georgia. It's been about a week since we haven't had any activity on the radar during the evening shows, and it should stay this way throughout most of the evening and overnight hours. But we will certainly have more rain and storms in the forecast, and we will mention that late tonight we could get a few stronger storms developing, very similar to what we dealt with last night, but not the severe weather coverage we've been dealing with. More storms in the forecast tomorrow. You'll need the rain gear out the door on your Friday morning. I'll have those details ahead in Maine weather.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. Another round of severe weather left damage behind in the mid-state, and this is Highway 49 in Peach County, where yesterday's storms toppled trees. Unlike the storms on Tuesday, the most severe weather yesterday stayed south of Macon. And now is a great time to download the WGXA weather app to keep track of those high temperatures. Just scan the QR code on your screen to download the app on your smartphone. Ryan is back in less than 20 minutes with your 10-day forecast.
The man accused of killing a Crisp County deputy is now a convicted killer. Krishawn Cross appeared in court today. Cross murdered Deputy Ty Brown during the early morning hours of July 5th. Brown stopped to help Cross, who was stranded on the roadside. But when Brown ran the tag, it came up as a stolen car from Houston County. Cross resisted arrest and shot Brown in the head before taking off. Authorities stopped Cross in Monroe County. Cross was sentenced to life in prison without parole. An overnight shooting in Cordele has police looking for a murder suspect. Officers responded to calls of a shooting on West 17th Street, where they discovered a 20-year-old man with multiple gunshot wounds. Cordele police are investigating the murder along with the GBI. If you have any information, you're asked to contact the GBI tip line. A man has been found guilty in the murder of his wife back in 2022 in Houston County. Perry police say Matthew Kendrick was arrested after calling 911 and telling them he had just stabbed his wife, Shateria Watkins, at Creekwood Park. Kendrick claims it was self-defense. However, surveillance video shows him and Watkins in his car. Then Kendrick gets out and forcefully opens Watkins' door and stabs her 9 times. Kendrick's sentencing will be scheduled for a later date, which will decide if he gets life or life without parole. And an FBI wanted fugitive has been caught in Warner Robins thanks to a tip. Tiara Thomas, who also goes by Red, was wanted for drug trafficking charges. Thomas failed to report to her probation officer last year and has been evading authorities ever since, causing the FBI to offer a reward of $5,000 for information.
The suspect in several mid-state criminal cases grew quite the crowd of law enforcement yesterday in Macon. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office tells WGXA the arrest came after Johnny Borum led deputies on a foot chase along Allen Road. They say Borum is wanted in Bibb for felony failure to appear and was wanted in Houston County for other felony offenses. He is being held without bond. Warner Robins police searching for a man who attempted to pull off a bank robbery. Police tell us a man demanded money from the Robins Financial Credit Union yesterday afternoon, but when bank employees did not follow his orders, and he simply left. Officers say he did not appear to have a weapon and no one was hurt. Do you recognize this person or this truck? Bibb County Sheriff's Office hopes someone can identify the suspects in a recent shoplifting case. This is video footage from Kohl's from Saturday. Investigators say it shows a thief rolling $500 of stolen merchandise outside the store in a cart, loading it in the back of a red Chevy Silverado. The man then jumps in the passenger seat and the truck pulls away. If you have any information, please call Bibb County deputies or Macon Regional Crime Stoppers. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office needs your help identifying this woman. She is wanted in connection to a fraud investigation at the United Bank. If you have any information on this person, please call Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
Well, the city of Fort Valley is welcoming new leadership to their police department. Major DJ Flores is their new assistant chief.
Carlos Stevens sat down with him one-on-one to talk about why Fort Valley and why now. Carlos, what did he tell you?
Earlier today, he told me it was the passion from Fort Valley city leaders that brought him here, but that's not all.
I was actually coming over to Fort Valley to teach a few classes, specifically how to identify, document, and prosecute gangs.
A gang problem that Fort Valley's second-in-command believes bleeds over the entire state.
The governor himself had stated that we do have a gang crisis.
DJ Flores is Fort Valley's new assistant police chief. And with a career that spans over 3 decades, he said he has the same focus.
That is one of the reasons why I came over here as well, is to ensure that we don't have any rise in gang-motivated or gang-related crime.
But Flores says he has one top priority first.
First, I want to understand our community.
Something he says will continue to help the department identify those problem areas in the community. He wants to raise the quality of life for citizens in Fort Valley, making sure people know the police are on their side. He plans to help the department start programs that will keep the city headed in the right direction.
We respect our community. We love our community.
Flores says he couldn't be more excited to help lead the city of Fort Valley.
The mayor, the police chief, the city council, the city administrator. I noticed when I started coming here and I started interacting with a bunch of them that they had a lot of passion and a lot of love to do what's right for the city of Fort Valley.
Reporting in Fort Valley, I'm Carlos Stevens, WGXA News.
Thank you, Carlos. Now to a disturbing story out of North Georgia. A Good Samaritan picks up a hitchhiker not knowing what's in his bag.
Not much happens in the small town of Gillsville, but when it does,
as the car line was going through, we heard sirens and we started hearing helicopters.
News travels fast.
And the parents started talking and we finally learned that someone was on the loose.
Sydney Seegers was picking up her child from her second day of preschool.
Very unnerving.
No one knew who it was or what the person had done, including Russell Jimerson, until his phone was blowing up.
And then my buddy said, is this a joke that you picked up a hitchhiker? And I said, no. I said, I really did.
Jimerson says he was picking up his paycheck in Lula Tuesday morning when he saw a man walking.
He just stuck his hand out, very quickly. And I told my son, let's get him. I help everybody. He had been up all night walking from Rayburn County.
He says he noticed the guy had a backpack and he reeked of an indescribable smell, which, after dropping him off here along Gillsville Highway, Jimerson says he learned who was in his truck, Keegan Phillips, and what he'd allegedly done, an unforgettable phone call.
You won't believe what happened. A guy in Rayburn County murdered someone last night and has their head. And I said, man, you won't believe what I'm fixing to tell you. There's a smell in this car that is awful.
What an awful story. Well, hours after letting Phillips out of his truck, law enforcement tracked him down, ending an hours-long manhunt.
Again, quiet and calm across middle Georgia on this Thursday evening. 90 degrees as we look over in Dublin, beautiful Lawrence County on our Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network. Looking north along Jefferson Street, a lot of blue sky and sunshine. And again, we had those storms move through Lawrence County during the midday hours. Again, that helped keep temperatures down because I really think we would have been in the mid-90s today if we didn't have that rain and storms. But we'll have hot temperatures and daily storms in the forecast for the foreseeable future. Unfortunately, this weekend, I think we're going to be dealing with more dangerous heat levels. That heat index could be as high as 110 in some locations. And tomorrow is going to be very similar to today. I think we start the day off with rain and storms, and then we'll see a few pop-up showers and storms during the afternoon. You'll need the rain gear out the door tomorrow because we are expecting widespread rain at least the first half of the day, maybe through the lunchtime hour. A little lull in the activity by the early afternoon, and then more storms tomorrow evening. That school day forecast for Friday, rain and storms at times. The kids will certainly need the rain gear out the door, umbrella, the galoshes, anything, because I really do expect many locations to be dealing with that widespread rain. And when it's not raining, we'll be in the 90s, but when it is raining, temperatures will be held down in the 80s. That heat index forecast, again, it's going to be feeling hot tomorrow, but really Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, this is when it could get in the danger range. And again, that's going to be meaning that feels like temperature with the combination of hot temperatures and high humidity will make it feel like it's 111 for both Saturday and Sunday. If this forecast continues, we fully expect heat advisories or maybe an excessive heat warning issued for portions of middle Georgia this weekend. Rest of this evening, quiet and calm conditions. I really expect if we get any thunderstorms developing, they'll be late tonight, and they should not be on the severe side across middle Georgia. Tomorrow morning, notice off towards our north and west, another complex of rain and storms will be working off towards the south and east. And as it does, it will move through middle Georgia tomorrow during the mid to late morning and early afternoon. Some of those storms could be on the strong side with gusty winds and frequent lightning. And again, some more thunderstorms certainly possible tomorrow evening. We will note that all of middle Georgia under the level 1 threat for severe weather. Winds and hail would be the main concern with any storm that went locally severe. And despite the recent rainfall, portions of middle Georgia dealing with abnormally dry conditions on the drought monitor. That is hard to believe, but that's just something we'll have to keep an eye on. Your 10-day forecast, mid-90s tomorrow and Saturday with rain and storms at times. We get hotter for Sunday and Monday with upper 90s in the forecast. Mid-90s remain in the forecast the rest of next week, and rain chances will actually decrease as well. Your Harrison's Body Shop Fish and Game forecast peaks multiple times in the good range tomorrow at 10:40 a.m. and again at midnight tomorrow night. Now here's meteorologist Ryan Mirando.
With the wildfires in Maui, Hawaii right now, it's all about the weather setup that's giving them their gusty winds that's blowing around these fires. So out in the Pacific in Hawaii, notice this swirl here. That is Hurricane Dora. It's not exactly the hurricane force winds that's bringing them the breezy conditions. It's its proximity. This is about hundreds of miles away from the actual island. However, just to the north, there's a high pressure system, and being in between these two areas, there's a very high pressure gradient. It creates the wind tunnel effect that brings the strong easterly winds through the islands, and that combined with the very low relative humidity that we have creates the breeding grounds for wildfires to spark and grow very quickly.
Ryan, a traffic alert in Perry. Police say a utility truck hit a gas line at Massey Lane and Cater Avenue. Those roads are currently blocked off as crews work to repair the line. First responders ask people to avoid that area. A heads up for your commute next week. Road crews will be doing maintenance work on I-75 southbound in Monroe County between mile markers 181 and 183. Repairs will begin on Tuesday, August 15th and will continue through Thursday the 17th. On those nights, 2 of the lanes will be closed from 7 at night to 5:30 each morning. Drivers are asked to anticipate possible delays and reduce speed while driving through those work zones. A recent state auditor's report reveals that Georgia's gifted program students face challenges, including class sizes, insufficient teacher training, and even student selection. The 2021 school year found 199,000 students were designated as gifted, constituting about 12% of the total student body. The state spends significantly more on each gifted student, between 30 and 68%, but issues persist in maintaining a 12-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, impacting personalized instruction. Different instructional models create disparities in individual attention for gifted students. The auditors propose reforms in funding, class size reviews, and teacher endorsements. The Department of Education acknowledges concerns and is considering adjustments for that program.
In other state news, Georgia's foster care system is making progress with only 7 children in hoteling. That's according to the Georgia Department of Human Services. DHS Commissioner Candace Brose acknowledged providers' efforts to eliminate this practice, which came to light during the legislative session. Numbers have swung, dropping below 20 last summer, then reaching 95 last month. Now the count has hit a new low of 7, expected to decrease to 5. Lawmakers allocated $10 million to address this issue in the fiscal 2024 state budget. The DHS is collaborating with DFCS on a pilot program in 58 counties for better family access to services.
Environmental advocates in Georgia are endorsing the EPA's plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from fossil fuel power plants. Over 1 million responses were received by the EPA during the public comment period regarding its proposed rule aimed at cutting carbon pollution by 617 million metric tons between 2028 and 2024, with expected health and environmental benefits. The rule would affect power plants like those operated by Georgia Power. However, there are detractors, including the Edison Electric Institute, concerned about the feasibility of new technologies and the deadline's implementation. Georgia Power has been reducing its carbon emissions over the years.
Sandwiched between boomers and millennials, Gen X is the generation many people seem to forget about, but they may be feeling the most economic stress. Angela Brown has more on their money problems.
If you're Gen X, then you're probably 43 to 58, coming of age during the dot-com bubble burst, then living through the Great Recession, now elevated inflation, building up into stress. Gen X, now considered the sandwich generation, taking care of kids on one end, aging parents on the other. Stress that may be piling up during peak earning years.
Juggling household budgets, they're also working, they're trying to save for retirement.
A number of studies are looking into the mental health of Gen X more than any other generation. 60% of Gen Xers say money has a negative impact on their mental health, according to Bankrate,
which is up significantly from last year when we did this study, where only 46% reported that.
New York Life looked at how Gen Xers stack up to other generations when it comes to managing debt. 28% of Gen Xers feel less able to manage that debt, higher than any other generation. Career specialist Julie Balke.
So they're trying to figure out, do I try to stay on a corporate track? Does it make sense at this time?
Gen X also more likely to say they're not confident in their ability to meet their financial goals, and changing jobs can be risky at this point.
Maybe I'm in my early 50s, late 40s, mid 50s. Do I have enough runway left to pivot and do something else?
Retirement getting closer, and millions of Gen Xers have little saved. This report from the National Institute on Retirement Security found a typical household has only $40,000 in retirement savings. But financial experts say it's not too late to build that nest egg. You can, for one, start pouring more money into your retirement savings, like a 401k plan, or possibly cut back on vacations or even some of those subscriptions and put that money into your retirement plan. Reporting in Washington, D.C., I'm Angela Brown.
Thank you, Angela. Well, Mercer Law School is teaming up with the United Way of Central Georgia to address homelessness in Macon. The students dedicated their time today to the Brookdale Resource Center, which focused on combating homelessness in the region. The center offers a comprehensive 90-day program providing transitional housing and essential support services. The upcoming Service Learning Initiative will allow Mercer Law students to engage in activities at Brookdale, gaining insights into the center's operations and challenges faced by homeless individuals.
This really is a really great thing that we're doing out here, and I feel like I think we're really contributing to the people that really need it the most. It makes me feel really good.
Collaboration also aims to beautify the center's surrounding through a partnership with Keep Macon Beautiful. We are proud here at WGXA to help Middle Georgia families struggling with diaper access this summer. As a part of our local Sinclair Cares initiative, we're hosting our summer diaper drive to help out local families. You can make a difference. Scan the QR code on your screen to make a financial donation, or you can head to one of 7 donation bins found at Kroger locations across Middle Georgia and Vineville Baptist Church to drop off diapers. All proceeds will stay and benefit the Colby Center here in Macon.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gary Thigpen, and I'm here again today at the Jones County Animal Services here in Jones County. I'm joined again today with Jennifer and Jacqueline. And guess who we have a special girl we're going to tell you about today. Who is this?
Yes, today we have Velma.
Velma.
She's a boxer mix. She's around 8 months of age. Doesn't do so well with cats, but she's very playful. She likes to play with her toys and loves to go on a walk.
And she would be great with kids. I can already tell you that right now. If you got a big backyard, you want to put Velma in, let her run out her energy and spend time with the kids, she could do that. She's very lovable at the same time. Look at this. So Jennifer, if someone would like to give Velma a good home, how would they do that?
Come down to our office located at 1015 Monticello Highway, and we'll get her all set up to go to her new forever home.
All right, let's take care of that today. Let's look at that beautiful, sweet face. Let's find Velma a good home. I know you want her. You want to do this today, so let's take care of it. Thank you, Jennifer and Jacqueline.
Thank you.
Well, feast your eyes on this sculpture of a cow made from 500 pounds of butter. Folks at the Illinois State Fair unveiled the butter cow Wednesday, and the butter cow has been an unofficial icon of the fair since the 1920s and is a favorite among fairgoers. It took sculptor Sarah Pratt 5 days to create this life-size cow, and she used unsalted butter, by the way. The iconic sculpture will be on display for the duration of the fair, and if you can't make it, you can check it out on a live butter cow webcam online at statefair-illinois-gov. That one confused me at the end.
Oh, it confuses me too, and I'm just wondering, how does one even start off? That would be good on the farm. The process of
that
doing
is a good on the farm. Maybe
a butter cow.
Illinois.
And I know, like, it took her 5 days, and it's refrigerated, so she's in there freezing to death, and then has to come out and take long breaks and everything.
Yeah.
But, that's a lot of butter.
Well, it looked really good. I know this is terrible. I'm just going to say it. I was thinking the whole time I would like some popcorn or some crackers to dip in it.
I was thinking I need to go to Texas Roadhouse for the rolls.
Oh, and look, there's a person there too, like milking a cow, I guess.
I think
the butter
she sculpted that too.
Look at that. Well, that's talent now, let me tell you. And I wonder what the motivation for using butter, I guess because it's a farm product and everything.
Yeah, and I know it's a staple up there. 1920s is how long they've been doing those butter sculptures. So.
Move over, butter. All right. That's going to do it for WGXA News at 5:30. Thank you for being so supportive co-anchors who laugh at my corny jokes. I love you both.
We invite you to join us at 6 on ABC 16.
Like and subscribe. Have a great evening, Middle Georgia.